Well, it's very sweet, but too much sweetness will give you sweet tooth. All right, 6 o'clock in the studios of DBS Radio. I say goodbye until 6:30. It's time to bring you the evening news right here on DBS Radio.
Fair and balanced, unbiased and clear, concise and accurate. This is the DBS Evening News. Here now is your presenter with the headlines.
In the headlines, the 3 candidates for the September 7 Roseau North by-election have promised to bring much-needed change to the constituency. In news from the region, Trinidad's acting prisons commissioner addresses issues of rogue officers in the prison system. And internationally, legendary U.S. country singer Dolly Parton dies at 80. Good evening, I am Leila Langford. Details of the news when we return.
Bundle and watch $98 flow back into your pocket. It's simple. Just add mobile to broadband and save big with Flow. Get fiber fast Wi-Fi at home and all the data you need on the go. We've got you covered everywhere. So what are you waiting for? It's connection times 2 and up to $98 in savings for you. Add mobile to broadband today and take your connection to the next level. Visit in-store or online at discoverflow.co for more details.
DBS News.
Welcome back. The 3 candidates for the September 7 Roseau North by-election have promised to bring much-needed change to the constituency. Dominica Labour Party candidate Ashma McDougall says the transformation of the various communities and employment opportunities will be her first order of business as parliamentary representative.
Social transformation is a priority for this constituency. We recognize that, being the corridor to Roseau Central, there is much opportunity for commercial expansion into Portersville and Goodwill. And so we want to see the modernization within these communities. Outside of that, communities like Yampies and Tarish Pete and Gutter Village and Stock Farm, there is much opportunity as well for social transformation. In doing groundwork and in actually walking throughout those communities, I see many people just walking from home. And so we see there's great opportunity there to ensure that we actually, rehabilitate the footpaths within those communities. And I believe that that in itself can increase the urbanization of this constituency. And then importantly, as I've mentioned before, for communities like Fonkole, for example, with modernization and the opportunities right next to the ports, it provides an initiative that is untapped. The potential in those communities as it relates to hillside tourism, as it relates to tourism opportunities are endless. And so with urbanization and the social transformation of this constituency, I see great opportunity that would be untapped. Importantly, we recognize that unemployment has remained a challenge, and this is not unique to Dominica, it's not unique to the Caribbean region. Unemployment is a key challenge that are faced by many young people across the entire world. And 2 strata we recognize. There are young individuals who obviously may be skilled and those who may be unskilled. And so there are 2 different pathways that have to be developed to address and tackle unemployment within this constituency. And I see it as a great opportunity to model unemployment resolve across the entire country.
Dominica Labour Party candidate for the Roseau North by-election, Ashma McDougall. Former parliamentary representative Danny Luge of the United Workers' Party has promised to develop a major tourism facility to create employment for Roseau North.
Well, I'm speaking about that public works site, a United Workers' Party government under Dr. Thompson Fountain will reclaim that portion of land to put there a vendor's arcade, but it will be a tourist reception center. A bus station can go there. It's a big piece of land, almost 2 acres of land. And that development will go all the way to the DBMC. We're talking about extension of the ports too. We should be able, in 2026, to host about 8 cruise ships. No, not everything will be able to be done one time. But we have a plan, a solid plan to create employment for the depressed and people who have lost hope, young people who have lost hope in Roseau North, to know that we have a solid plan to create employment. As I said before, it will take some time. I was in opposition already, and there was stuff that I did in opposition. If you look across to the Lindo Park, I got funds together with my committee. We wrote up a project. We got funds for that project. I eventually had to resign from the committee only because I was a candidate way back then. So I've done projects in opposition. So this is a man who knows what he's talking about. There was another project to be done, which I was getting help from another contractor to set up the courts by the Goodwill School. So we are working, the work continues.
UWP candidate for the Rosanov by-election, Danny Luge. Meantime, independent candidate Sherman Boston says his record of involvement in Rosanov makes him suitable to represent the constituency in Parliament.
Well, I am exactly the candidate that have worked on the ground. I have done manual work on the ground. I have visited almost all the homes, not now in my campaign time, but I can tell you of the problems off my head, off my back. I don't need no book. I don't need to come and introduce myself to anybody. The only thing where maybe I will have a little indifference is the other candidates, they have their party support behind them, so they get people from all over the country to come and work with them to give the impression that they're support of Rosanov. Although Mr. Luge, I appreciate him because the people of Rosanov overwhelmingly support him. But I mean, Mr. Luge, I want to tell him, his time is up. He gave it a good run, a good shot. Right now, it's time to hand it down. Rosanov will be in good hands, in my hands. Well, I've been always pushing for development. I've built roads, houses, I've employed persons, I've the whole works, and I will not stop. I've represented on the council. I'll continue to represent on the council. The interests of people. I've done clean up. I see campaign now is clean up. I've done clean up for years. Right now we're highlighting clean up. I've used my time, my resources to help to clean my constituency, Foncole, Pottersville, Gutter Village, Tarish Pit, Bellevue Road. So it's a work that have been ongoing. Right now, I try to put myself in a position where I can better influence the situation, better influence prosperity for our nation, my constituency, and Dominica at large.
Independent candidate for the Rosanov by-election, Sherman Boston. In other news, Dominica has taken a step further in developing its audio-visual industry with the signing of a new agreement with Stage 32. Stage 32 is one of the world's largest online platforms for entertainment industry education and networking. Communication and Public Relations Specialist at Discover Dominica Authority, Monel Alexis, says the agreement will create opportunities for local filmmakers and audiovisual professionals to access specialized international training and certification.
Today, Discover Dominica Authority is pleased to launch our partnership with Stage 32, creating new opportunities for our filmmakers and audiovisual professionals to access specialized international training and certification. As we position Dominica to attract additional film, television, and digital media production, we also have to build the capacity of our people to work on those productions and benefit from the opportunities they create. Through Stage 32, participants can gain practical training in areas such as production coordination, location management, production accounting, and line producing while connecting with a global community of industry professionals. Today's industry webinar is the first step. We want to encourage our filmmakers, students, and audiovisual professionals to take advantage of this opportunity as we continue building Dominica's capacity to compete in the international audiovisual industry.
Communication and Public Relations Specialist at Discover Dominica Authority, Monel Alexis. The Electoral Office has stepped up action to facilitate voter confirmation across Dominica. Communication Specialist of the Electoral Commission, Priska Julian, says action is being taken to make it easier for Dominicans who wish to confirm.
The Electoral Office continues to put measures in place to make the electoral process accessible as possible to all eligible electors. The voter confirmation exercise remains ongoing, and we have special facilities in place to ensure accessibility. Persons who may have difficulty if they are shut in and they are not able to do the regular confirmation at the locations that we have set up, they can make use of the Mobile Home Visits Initiative, which facilitates confirmations at their home. In order to have yourself or someone you know register for a home visit, you can contact the Electoral Office of Dominica. And every week we facilitate a different constituency and we go to your homes, ensure that all your documents are in place and you can get confirmed. We also continue to facilitate centralized voter confirmation at the Windsor Park Sports Stadium, where electors can access confirmation services according to the schedule established by the Electoral Office. Every Tuesday, a different constituency is facilitated. For those who reside or work in town and you are unable to go back to your residence, your place of residence, or where you are registered as a voter, you can come to the Windsor Park Sports Stadium at the Tuesday that is allocated for your constituency and get confirmed. We also want to remind electors that the voter ID card distribution is ongoing. Persons are encouraged to pay attention to the announcements for their respective constituencies and to collect their cards. We have begun card distribution for the Roseau North, Roseau Central, and Roseau South constituencies.
Communication specialist at the Electoral Office, Priska Julian. Parliamentary Representative for Roseau South, Shakira Lockhart-Hippolyte, says the first phase of the $6.6 million Baffestate to Silver Lake Road alignment project is complete. She told the Roseau South Town Hall meeting at Baffestate last night the second phase of the project will greatly enhance the area.
We have just completed the first phase of the Baffestate to Silver Lake Road alignment project at a cost of $6.6 million. And we engaged several local persons on that project. Now, I don't know if you all recall, that was after Ophelia. That project was written up and the funds were finally drawn down from the CDB. And so we have done the first phase, which is the retaining wall, and the second phase, the wall will take us to the main road, and which will put some guardrails and some sidewalks. And this will make the area much more resilient, because we know traversing through that area, you have the cliff. And so I want to urge some of you, because I brought some people with me some time ago and they were amazed. They did not realize that there was so much work going on at the back of Silver Lake. $6.6 million circulating in the economy. Every material was purchased locally.
The Roseau South MP also says the long-awaited Baffestate Bridge is receiving the attention of government.
But I just want to say to the people of Emsall that the bridge is very much on the cards. Okay, it's very much on the cards. We have not forgotten you. We have just completed the designs and estimates, and I can tell you it will cost us $20.4 million. That is a permanent bridge, and the retaining wall will cost us $3.2. So that is $23.7 million to do the Emsall Bridge. So you can quite understand that it costs quite a sum. And so we have to find out where we can get the necessary finances to do so. But I know we're in the hurricane season and most time you all are panicking. But I pray to God nothing happens. And we also have preposition equipments in the event of any storm coming in to deal with any matter as it relates to Emsall. And I know that is one of your major concerns. But just to let you know that your power rep has not forgotten you, your government has not forgotten you.
Roseau South MP Shakira Lockhart-Hippolyte. The Dominica State College will officially welcome approximately 500 new students for the upcoming September semester. The institution will host its enrollment and orientation sessions beginning September 1.
The first day, which is a Tuesday, would be a mandatory day for all students to come in. So that day would have our opening ceremony After that, they would break into their major groups. They will be separating by majors, and they would meet their faculties. Actually, during that separation, they would have their first seminar where they'll be introduced to what we call academic journey. They would do with their lecturers and with their deans and members of staff. And after that, they would go into their second seminar, which would be something we call a master seminar. We would take different seminars that we had previously, such as counseling, financial planning, time management, DSC policies, and we will combine it into one seminar. And after that, they will go into for their tours of the Dominica State College, and after those tours, they would have a social. At 4:30, we will have a family orientation. So all the parents and guardians of students, that would be an opportunity to come in, and all the questions that you have, then you will have an opportunity to talk to management about it and get accurate responses as to some of the concerns that you have. On Thursday, we'll have advising and enrollment, and on Friday, we'll have advising and enrollment. So prior to their advising and enrollment, they will do Classy with the freshers leaders. So that session on Classy will let them know how to navigate and to really understand the Classy platform so that they can really be able to utilize it during the academic year.
Coordinator of Student Services at the Dominica State College, Kiwan Thomas. President of the Dominica Calypso Association, Gregory Caressa Rivera, is reporting revenue of over $434,000 for the 2026 Calypso season. He told the annual general meeting of the Dominica Calypso Association at the weekend that gate receipts of $269,811 were the highest in the last 4 years. He says, however, expenses for the season jumped to $469,000.
We were able to raise $434,146 in revenue. At the same time, our expenses jumped to $496,271. And if you look at the report closely, this was largely due to the increase in operation expenses. I can report that we have identified several areas where we will be making significant cuts to our operating expenses. On a brighter note, we have seen the highest entrance fee recorded for the last 4 years. This suggests that our patrons are still willing to come on board. This year, our entrance fee was $269,811. In 2025, our entrance fee was $258,815. Entrance fee. That's fee from the gate and tickets and so on. 2024, our entrance fee was $243,901. And in 2023, our entrance fee was $264,508. So in the last 4 years, although we had a very short time to put things in place, we were able to realize a very high or reasonable high entrance fees.
President of the Dominica Calypso Association, Gregory Caressa Rivera. That's the national focus, regional and international developments up next.
Watch $98 flow back into your pocket. It's simple. Just add mobile to broadband and save big with Flow. Get fiber fast Wi-Fi at home and all the data you need on the go. We've got you covered everywhere. So what are you waiting for? It's connection times 2 and up to $98 in savings for you. Add mobile to broadband today and take your connection to the next level. Visit in-store or online at discoverflow.co for more details.
DBS News.
In news from the region, Trinidad and Tobago Acting Prisons Commissioner Elvin Canterbury addresses issues of rogue officers in the prison system 1 day after a female officer was held for smuggling prohibited items into the women's prison. He spoke with CNC3 television in Trinidad and Tobago this afternoon.
We continue to do our intelligence gathering, our surveillance, depending on support from our other partners in the criminal justice system so that we can address this situation head on. It's really contrary to what we are trying to do in terms of rehabilitation, so we continue to press to try to address those situations as soon as possible.
Trinidad and Tobago Acting Prisons Commissioner Elvin Canterbury.
Jolene, I'm begging of you, please don't take my man. Jolene, please don't take him just because you can.
That was a performance from Dolly Parton at the top of the pops in 1976. According to latest news reports, the legendary country singer Dolly Parton has died at the age of 80. Her team says her legacy is one of love, compassion, and resilience. The country legend sold more than 100 million records worldwide and wrote over 3,000 songs in a career that spanned 6 decades. That's news, the DBS Evening Sports Report. Up next with Alian Christopher.
Covering the nation and beyond. DBS Sports Report.
Good evening, welcome to the Evening Sport Report. Experienced midfielder Sidney Lockhart is back in the Dominican national football team setup after a 4-year absence as the country prepares for the upcoming CONCACAF Nations League campaign. Lockhart was represented Dominica for several years and earned a number of individual honors, says he has returned with the intention of using his experience to help the national team. Dominica will compete in League B, Group A, alongside Guyana, Puerto Rico and the Cayman Islands.
It's been a while, about 4 years right now. I'm just trying to keep up to the guys. So far the training has been very well, intense a lot. So I try my best to keep up with what I see the rest of the games. I'll try my best to see what I can give to everybody, give to the country, and see how I can help them at the most. So far, I am very impressed. The style of play they implementing and the coach, everyone. He's happy with him. He's pushing his work. So I'm just trying to inquire myself into it and give everything. To the Dominica fans, I would just like to say, be patient. And to the coach, be patient with the players. It's a young team. They just trying to gel together, figure out everything. So just be patient, and in a few time, I'm sure victories will follow.
National player Sidney Lockhart. Staying in football, Dublin FC forward Travis Joseph says the title is still there for the taking despite consecutive defeats in the DFA Premier League. Dublin had not lost a league match for 2 years until they suffered a 2-1 loss to Sagicor South East. The reigning champions suffered another 2-1 loss over the weekend, this time at the hands of their neighbours and rivals Portsmouth Bombers. Joseph says the team now needs to maintain its grip at the top of the table with just 4 more games to play.
I wouldn't say it's a big concern. I would just say that eyebrows will be raised because losing back-to-back is not something Dublin is accustomed to. So, yes, eyebrows will be raised, but the most important thing at the end of the day is that the title is still in our hands. We are still 6 points clear with a large goal margin. So I wouldn't say the league is wide open because it is way, way, way tough for Southeast. We could come back and win the league than we win in the league. So it's more of a mountain to climb for them than for us because we are in control already. So we just keep our head up, and we have 4 more games left. Let's win our games and make sure we seal our title.
And that is Dublin FC forward Travis Joseph. He blamed the lack of training for the team's recent dip in form.
Well, I believe one of the main reasons for that is through the training. It's been like 6 weeks. We haven't trained as a team. And that's never a good thing when the team don't train together, because that's how you build chemistry, build connections with players. And we didn't have that for the past 6 weeks. So, yeah, but moving forward, we have enough experienced players to lead the team and just build back the momentum and bring back the confidence and the unity in the squad. So, yeah, as I say, we are still in good spirit. Our head is still high. Our fate is in our hands. So, we just have to go out there and do our job.
Dublin FC forward Travis Joseph. Meantime, Dublin currently sits atop the points table with 36 points. They have a 6-point lead over second place Sagicor South East, who have 30 points. Mahusuka Strikers are third with 29 points. Portsmouth Bombers fourth with 21 points. Middleham United made a huge leap over the weekend following their 4-3 win over We United. Middleham jumped from 8th and are now in 5th with 17 points. Bath Estate follow closely with 16 points. Point Michel, We United and Harlem also have 16 points, with the cellar position occupied by the Do It Center Mighty Avengers with 12 points. President of the Dominica Football Association, Glenn Etienne, has welcomed the move to allow second-generation Dominican nationals to represent the country. Etienne says the initiative could strengthen Dominica's competitiveness internationally, while also motivating local players to raise their standards.
Well, that's a very good initiative. We have been knocking on the doors for that for a while. I know it takes the government some time because maybe they have some legislation they have to go through before they can just come up with that. And thanks now that happened in 2026, because that is going to push even our local players. Because you see, all the other countries are doing it. There must be a balance. We want our local players, but at the same time, that is going to push our local players to do the work harder. Because here it is now, we have the second generation persons that are always willing, and they have been asking to play for Dominica. And one might say, okay, why are you getting all these players from outside? But all the other countries are doing it. If you want to compete, if you want to be on the map, if you want to showcase Dominica to a higher level, then you need that. So that was one of the holdback for us. The first generation, it was still small, narrow in the sense that it didn't give you wide enough scope. So now you have second generation. It gives you a wider scope, and there's many persons. In fact, maybe we can get a whole team of second generation, to play. But again, we have to strike the balance. But it's something that we must, we have to applaud the government for doing at this time to help us to move sports. And sports really is an industry. We have to look at it as an industry. It's going to help a lot of openings in different ways, and it shouldn't be just for football alone. I'm spoke generally. We know about the TLR force, and there's a lot of other persons that want to represent Dominica in different sporting disciplines. So I think it's a very good move, and I applaud the government for that.
President of the Dominica Football Association, Glenn Etienne. The West Coast Ballers are looking to bounce back on Thursday when they face the Posse Pacers in Game 4 of the DABA Division 1 playoff final. The Ballers suffered a narrow 77-76 loss to the Pacers in Game 3, leaving the Pacers with a 2-1 lead in the best-of-5 series. The West Coast Ballers captain Shimon Kazimi says despite the disappointment of losing by 1 point, the team remains focused and determined to force a decisive Game 5.
It was a really hard game. It's really disappointing on how we lost by 1 point. But me and the guys, we are not set back by that. We're really excited for the Game 4. And hopefully we're going to push it to a Game 5. I don't think that's really going to affect us in any way. It was basketball. It was a good game. I really liked playing it. It was a really exciting game. I really nailed by it in spite of what happened during the game. We're still excited for the next game. We're even more hungry because we came a long way, so we're not going to give up now. We're still going to push it to Game 5.
West Coast Ballers captain Shimon Kazimi. He says his team are using the next few days before Game 4 to sharpen their defensive work and execution as they look to extend this series.
We're really going to work on sharpening our game plan. Our game plan so far is working really well. It's going to work on sharpening that, sharpening our defense and our execution of our plays, our plans. Other than that, we're just going to come to Game 4 with a do-or-die mentality. To stretch it to the series to a Game 5. We're really going to push it, going to work hard because it's really go big or go home.
West Coast Ballers captain Shimon Kazimi. Meanwhile, captain of 767 SC Dominators Jacob Barry says his boys are looking forward to Game 4, having suffered a 2-point defeat in Game 3 of the DABA Premier League playoff. Barry says his boys just needs to go out and execute in Game 4.
We're looking forward to Game 4. You know, this little time is just about fine-tuning, staying sharp, and, you know, just making sure we know how we're going to execute our game plans and our strategies. And yeah, we're looking forward to Game 4 on Thursday night and winning that game and potentially becoming champions on Saturday. So yeah, that's our focus for right now. The series is not over, so we know what we have to do and you know how we have to do it. All we have to do is go out and execute.
Captain of 767 SC Dominators Jacob Barry. In cricket, England captain Joe Root says he was frustrated by stupid mistakes after an off-field incident involving fast bowler Brydon Carse overshadowed his successful return as Test captain. Footage emerged of Carse being handcuffed and led away by police after Durham players celebrated their county championship victory over Derbyshire. Carse has since been withdrawn from England's squad for the second test against Pakistan at Lord's, with the cricket regulator investigating the incident.
If I'm being brutally honest, I'm really hacked off. I'm really disappointed that after last week's performance we're sat here and we're talking about nothing related to it at all. And in terms of the incident itself, it's obviously with the regulator. There's not a lot I can say on it. It's in their hands now. I've spoken to Brydon. You know, when I first found out, my first concern was him as a person. As someone I've spent a lot of time with, been involved in this dressing room, you obviously develop personal relationships with players. And I don't think I'm speaking out of turn by saying he's very upset, been very apologetic and understands his actions. And I'm sure when he gets his chance, he will say that himself. But yeah, I don't think it's not the isolated incident itself. I think it's the fact that we continually keep making stupid mistakes away from the game, and it's detracting from what we're doing on the field.
England captain Joe Root. England will meet Pakistan in the second test on Thursday at Lord's. England swept Pakistan away by an innings and 103 runs inside 3 days at Headingley to hand Root victory on his comeback as Test captain. England lead the free match Test series 1-0. CPL action returns this evening after a one-day break. The Antigua and Barbuda Falcons will be hoping to bounce back from Sunday night's defeat. They were beaten by 7 wickets by the Guyana Amazon Warriors. The Falcons, they will be coming up against Barbados Royals from 7 p.m. at the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium. The Royals are unbeaten after 2 games. They are currently in 4th with 4 points. Falcons sit 3rd in the CPL table with 6 points, having won 3 games and suffering 3 defeats. Finally this evening, Sri Lanka's Sunal Dinusha and Pasindo Suryabandara both hit half centuries, but India still have the upper hand in the second test in Colombo. Sri Lanka are responding to India's first innings score of 503 for 9 declared. Dinusha is unbeaten on 85 and Suryabandara hit 80 as Sri Lanka are 265 for 8 at stumps on day 3. They still trail by 238 runs heading into day 4. Pradesh Krishna has 3 for 47 and Manav Sutta 3 for 83 for India. Mohammad Siraj and Ravindra Jadeja has 1 wicket each. Play resumes at 12:30 a.m. Caribbean time. That's all the time for this evening's Sport Report. I've been your presenter, Arlian Christopher, saying good evening.
DBS Radio gives you top quality service over any other for live streaming of funerals. Call us today at 448-3282.
Good evening and welcome to this evening's edition of the DBS Radio Community Bulletin Board. It is the 25th day of August 2026. We begin with this evening's edition of the DBS Radio Death Announcements. DBS Radio announces the death of John Cornelius Etinoff, better known as Amin, age 69, of Wesley, who resided in Antigua. He died on Monday, the 20th of July 2026. He was the father of Cleopatra Etinoff, residing in New Jersey, and Carlberg Etinoff. He will also be remembered by his grandchildren, Tanaya Joseph, Casey, and Kanea Etinoff, his brother Bernard Etinoff, his sisters Gertrude Sabridge and Justine Herring in the United States of America, brother-in-law Charlesworth Sabridge, sister-in-law Merle Etinoff, nephews Isaiah Charles and Neil Etinoff, Conrad Charles in Tortola, Christopher Q. Arliss in Canada, Ron Mills, Shea Sabruch, and Helios Etinoff in the United States of America. Nieces, Teresa Basil in Antigua, Jennifer Jones, Jude St. John, Yanara Etinoff, Princess Sabruch, and Jania Montecrief in the United States of America. Grandnieces, Malaka, Jessica, Naisha in Antigua, Constable Joy Ann Michael in Antigua, Dania and Carrie Ann in Guadeloupe, Shemaine, Leandra, Christine, Carissa, Malaika, Ethelyn, and Kayla in Dominica, and Cherise, Taisha, and Taisha in New Jersey. That should be.